in my opinion, it's more of a virtual world than it is a game.
Right.
Anyway, enough about Mortal. So I played a little bit of Eve again, sub to Eve again. Had a good time for like 15 days. And the thing is that I kind of feel like you're talking about, Nate. You can't play Mortal and Eve. You can't play
No,
both those.
no, you can't. It's
They're
too
all
hard.
in type games.
Yep.
You can play maybe like I can play Mortal and play a little Terra on the side. That'll work. Um,
Did
Yeah, you can't do two sandboxes. At least not Mortal and Eve. Maybe
yeah.
maybe something like Worm with another game, but not those two games.
Yeah.
did you try the manual movement? Is that out yet for Eve?
I don't know. Not that I know of.
No, that's they've had a trailer for it,
Okay.
or video for it, and they're on that 6 week sprint, so we may get that in December.
Okay.
So do you think that's gonna be like flight stick like type?
I wouldn't get your hopes up because I bet you it's their current system where you double click space.
Yeah.
If I want to turn right, I double click and I go right.
It's just
It's
controlled
probably just
differently.
that mapped to WASD.
Huh.
Um,
Because I was thinking maybe this is a reaction to, I mean, if Elite Dangerous
well, no, I know
launched
I know it's a reaction. It could be the Elite Dangerous. What their story is, they have testing with new players, and new players say, "Why can't I flight stick this? Like, why is it not like?"
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's one of the most jarring things about that game is when you go in there, you want to push a button to go forward and push a button to go back, and use your mouse to kind of fly around and look around, and
rather it's a right click game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which is more realistic because I mean, if you're flying in space, you're not using a flight stick, you're mapping out coordinates and then going. It's AI computer controlling that.
Not
Yeah,
if
and
you're in
you're kind of
Star
playing
Wars.
ships.
Well.
I hope it's fun. I hope it's a nice change. At least it may help with the initial jarring experience, and then you move into the right click game 'cause it's more efficient. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. I think that the barrier to entry in Eve is still great, even though everyone says, "Well, you could be PvPing with it." It's like, yeah, you can, but the problem is that someone's feeding you gear or ships, whatever you want to call it, and you're building out your ships, and you're getting all that for free, and you're going out and fighting. It's like, well, that's fine as long as that person who's giving you that stuff is online. You know what I mean? But it's just kind of like in Mortal. When you're in Mortal and, oh, shit, I just lost all my armor. The armor crafter hasn't been on for 2 days. What am I supposed to do? It's like, I don't know. I've always lost stuff in Eve, and I don't know. I also have never really grasped like the spatial, thing of Eve, like where that ship is. And there's also
you've got to dive into it, and give it the time it needs. You can't make it a side game and really get anywhere with it.
No, I totally. I mean, I think I've always gone back to it because for some reason I think I need to like it. But also, one thing I like about MMOs is that I can go out to a spot and just kind of farm shit, right? You can't really do that in Eve. I guess you could go someplace where there's
you have the
ratting,
mission
but
system, which works everywhere.
but
The ratting, which works everywhere. So they've got exactly that.
Nah.
And you can, if you do faction warfare, you can make money right away in really cheap ships. I mean, really cheap ships.
Yeah,
where you make
but
the money
that's
back.
not fun, is it?
Yeah, well, you don't have to do very much of it as far as orbiting the site, making the money that way, and getting the loyalty points, and then those things have PvP in it. It's a draw for PvP, so half the time you're going to fight war in it too. I mean, if you want to blow things up and make money doing it, and be a new player, faction warfare is kind of where you want to be.
See, in Perpetuum, let's just say, because I played more Perpetuum than I have Eve, which is kind of weird, but I could just like run around and go find some mobs and just sit there and just kill them over and over.
You're used to the 3D game world.
Yeah,
avatar.
I guess it's because we're on the ground.
Yeah.
It's like my mind grasps it better. But yeah, I don't know.
Even Perpetuum work almost exactly the same way. A little difference. They do have their roaming mobs in Perpetuum.
The thing that annoys me about Perpetuum is it's like I see it's right there, but I can't. I got to go all the way around because for some reason all this science and we can't go over a bush. You know.
Yeah, they've got that pathing system. I mean, you can see it on the ground clearly, which is nice. Like you're not trying to fight the movement in that game, but it's weird.
All right, so let me figure. So anyway, so there's this website called slickdeals.net, and I found The Last of Us for $25, a code for the PlayStation 4. I got one. I think you got one too, right, Quinn?
Bought it.
Bought it. So I've been looking on that website like crazy. But anyway, so played a little bit of Last of Us. Seems cool. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to play it on easy and just play it, just watch the story.
Mm-hmm.
The combat is not great in my opinion. It's kind of like a lot of hiding around. Something Nate would probably really like, actually. Do you have it, Nate?
Yeah, I do. I talked about it a little bit earlier. I'm actually not playing it very stealth. I'm kind of because the game encourages you to like play action oriented, but you got to have the materials to do that. So you only have to stealth when like I don't have enough shivs or don't have enough bullets.
Right.
If I got enough equipment, I can go action all I want.
So yeah. So I'm gonna play a little bit of that. Tera's coming out with an expansion next month. They're gonna raise the level cap by 5 levels. They're gonna add some stuff. It really wasn't like, wow, look at all this crazy stuff they're gonna add. I'm gonna play the game. It's more like, hey, remember this game? And there's gonna probably be a ton of people playing it, and I don't know, it might be fun. I've been playing a little bit of that. There was this game that Matador Pants turned us on to. Did you play it?
No, I was going to play
Holy
with the kids.
crap, man. What is it called? He's gonna
shoot.
get pissed if I don't know the name. Anyway, so what it is
Robocraft.
Robocraft.
Have you played it, Quint?
No, but I remember seeing him talking about it.
Holy smokes, man. So you basically build like almost like Minecraft or Lego style. You build these robots, right?
Okay.
And as you progress, you get to where they can fly and stuff. But anyway, so I didn't get that far. So you build these robots with blocks and you put guns on them. And there's other things like you can put something, because a lot of times you run into your buddy and your robot flips over. And then you can put this thing on it where you can hit a button and flip it back over. But you don't get that right away. And you end up people just building these crazy things. So let's say that like I have my robot. They have a stock one that I pretty much just use. Has like 4 wheels, like 5 guns on the top, and like a little dude sitting there. And then it's got like, it's kind of squarish. And as you go out, when you're shooting at each other, kind of like you drive, kind of like the vehicle in Mass Effect, kind of like how it drives.
Okay.
Mako.
And you got like a machine gun, or later on, I guess you get rockets and stuff. But as I shoot your craft, like some of those bricks are falling off. So like it gets to the point like maybe where you lose a wheel and you're just kind of going in circles. You're still trying to aim. It's a lot of fun, man. It's a lot.
This is on Steam or what?
It's free on Steam.
Oh, okay, I'm gonna try
it's
it.
free. The Eve community finds these games and they play them while they're waiting for their ops to happen. And I think this is one of those games. I actually want to check it out with my kids. And we ended up doing all kinds of stuff the last week, and I had them. So I think next time I have them, I'm gonna load it up on Steam and have them like build.
Hey, I was gonna ask you that
stuff with me, and yeah.
Do your kids have their own Steam accounts?
No, they just use mine.
But you can't play like 2 computers on one account, can you?
No, well, like when we did World of Tanks, I had 2 accounts.
Oh, okay.
So I had like, my name and then my name with a 2 on it, and we would play each other and set up matches. No, I mean usually it's just the single player game, the 2-player, or I'll just let them play my account, or I turn it offline on another computer, and they play it. And I play on my Steam account.
Just curious. Anyway, but yeah, so there was me, Miguelito, Butch, and Matador were playing it, and it was fun. Well, Butch mate came up with some. I mean, we didn't know what we were doing. Like Matador knew what he was doing, but the rest of us were just trying things, and sometimes you'd forget to put guns on it, or you get to the point where they shoot off all your guns, so you're still in the game. So the way it works is
so you just have to battle ram them.
2 spots, right? And you go and you park your vehicle and you take over that spot.
Okay.
But when you're dead, you're out of the game. So you don't respawn.
It's like World of Tanks meets Minecraft.
Yeah.
It's not sort of.
I haven't played a lot of World of Tanks, but it's a lot of fun. I would highly recommend playing that with friends, not just solo.
Yeah, so we did a night of chivalry like that too recently, and we all bought the
So that
Deadliest Warrior
started
expansion.
because we all got Evolve beta keys, right?
Yeah, well,
And
we liked Evolve. You didn't. Well,
anyway.
for one, you can only do. It's a 5-person match. One person's the monster in Evolve. The other 4 are hunters.
Okay.
And we had 5 people,
Yeah.
and it wouldn't let us do our own match. So we had to have 4 versus a random monster. And Coolit came in late, so he was like doing his own thing.
Yeah.
So we're all having a blast with it. And Coolit's hating.
Yeah,
the
but
game.
you guys aren't buying that game.
No, I
And
think
as soon as I went on Steam and saw that Chivalry had an expansion, you guys were like, "Okay, we're playing Chivalry," and we had a blast playing Chivalry.
Evolve was fun for like an hour tops, and then we were kind of done with it. We played Chivalry much more than an hour. I think we're on it for like 3 hours at night.
So they have like, I don't know. You've played Chivalry before, Quint?
Maybe
It's like War of
that's
the Road,
yeah.
it's kinda
You're like running around with swords and stuff. Like
Yeah, but
and
so now
you've
it's
seen
different, though.
the Deadliest Warrior TV show where it puts like one like a something from history versus something else from history.
yeah, it wasn't like Vikings versus what was
So
it?
now
Vikings
there's
and Knights or something.
ninjas, samurais,
Nice.
Vikings,
Pirates.
knights, pirates,
Oh
and
man.
they all have like different. Like the pirates have guns.
Okay.
Spartans.
Spartan, yeah.
The Spartans have a kick, and there's a Spartan pit.
Nice.
So they have a mode where it's 6. Was it 6 or 8 factions? I forget.
All six factions.
And they
Each
have a
six has
mode
team. Yeah.
where it's all 6 versus all 6. So we were all like Vikings, I think.
Okay.
And there's like, I don't know, 64 people or something. And they're equally distributed amongst these 6 different types of people. And it's just mayhem. And it's fun. I think we bought it for like $3.
Yeah, it was on sale for 75% off, and I think it was free this past weekend. Actually, it's free right now. It was free this weekend.
Oh, cool. Anyway, so that's what I've been playing. I also played Dragon Age like we talked about. I haven't been playing Diablo lately. Probably since our last podcast though, I had like a day off work and I sat and I just leveled. It was like double XP weekend.
Yeah.
I leveled 2 more characters up to level 70.
Oh my! On
And
the
I was just
PlayStation.
like, yeah.
Oh wow.
So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 level 70 hardcore characters on the PlayStation.
Nice.
But I think I overdid it. I think I burned.
Yeah, that's one I'm gonna have to just come back around to in time. Like I tried to sit down and play that maybe like last week on the computer, just like pull up my old PC account, and I got in game and I was like, I don't think I want to play this right now. I just logged out. I was like, whatever.
Well, you should log into your PlayStation account because you've got.
I got some
gifts
things in the
for
mail.
me in the mail.
Nice.
From then, but I don't
Yeah.
know. It's I still think I want to go back to Destiny someday, but
Yeah.
it's like I'm not going to play that without you guys. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like there is no reason to play that game solo. To me, have you played it?
I'm up to level 15. So I was having I was having most fun with when the loot cave was around, like just sitting there camping the loot cave. Like that was fun for me. That was like old EverQuest times, but I haven't really played it since they took that out. The story just seems so bland to me. I'm kind of weird now. Like I've gotten really like I love a good kind of sweeping story like Halo. Awesome epic story. You're just following along, and Elder Scrolls or Dragon Age. The things that just kind of like sweep you away, escapism, whatever. And this one is just it's not really. I'm not really interested.
Yeah.
It's not bringing me back.
There is no story.
There's supposed to be a story.
There's no. What is it? Tell me what it is.
You're a dead
I guess
guy. You get
those
resurrected.
little decoder things.
weird
You can go on their
things.
website and find out, right?
Yeah, I don't know, man.
It's weird.
Yeah, I bought the game. I was going to play it, and then I bought it for one of my kids,
Mhm.
and I realized that if I played it, I was going to hand him my account with a max character on Christmas. So I figured I would stop playing it.
Oh, shit, yeah. You're like, what's
Can
going
you
on here?
delete a character on that?
Yeah.
Probably, but I figured what I would do is he's only 9, so he'll play it, and I'm sure he'll get to the part where he can't beat, and then he'll like hand me the controller, and I'll beat it. Well, I'll
Mhm.
play it that way. So I'm
Yeah,
kinda
there's some
waiting.
tough spots, that's for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, there's definitely some tough. I don't know, man. The game is. I don't know, soul.
Yeah, I don't
Lack
know
of soul.
the arenas, like the PvP arenas in that game were fun, like the battlegrounds, you know, with the exception of now, if you go in there, you just get owned one shot all the time because the people that you're going up against are just like,
Yeah,
they've got
it's a
guns that are
gear-based
just
game, so you gotta get all the
crazy.
gear.
Yeah,
Yeah, I guess that
but
raid.
even though it's supposed to normalize it, it's supposed to normalize your gear. It doesn't do a good job as far as I know.
I didn't think it
Oh.
was normalizing it.
It's supposed to, I think,
Huh.
or normalize levels. I think. I don't remember, something like that.
All
What,
right,
what about the
so-
raid? You were saying the raid.
Yeah, I just heard that it was kind of fun.
Yeah, I heard it was fun. I heard it was
Yeah,
really
but
hard.
Same thing. Or it's fun to go through once or twice,
Mm-hmm.
like most raids.
I hear that the first time the people did it took forever, and then now people are just whizzing right through it because they know how to do it. But
Yeah, one of my friends, one of my friends gave one of his buddies who's really into it my PlayStation account ID. So the guy hits me up all the time. He's just like, "Come on, man, let's go do raid. Let's raid." I was like, "Oh man, I'm not playing this right now."
don't you have to be like level?
25, I think.
Yeah.
And it's weird because to level
It
up in
only
that
goes to
game,
20.
you can only level to 20, and then the next 10 levels to get to 30 is all gear-based levels, which is kind of strange. I don't really understand it. But, I mean, there's definitely a big group of people who are still very heavily into it. Because I logged in the other day, and there was a bunch of people standing around. It seemed pretty active. So.
Well, I have probably 6 friends on my PlayStation friend list,
Mm-hmm.
and there's always somebody out of those 6 playing that game.
Yeah.
I think Jamie's kids play it,
Mhm.
so that's one. But I there's other people who have, I don't even know who they are actually, on my friends list. I think Belcher still plays it actually.
Maybe.
I don't know. Anyway, I don't know. Is there anything else coming out on the PlayStation 4 that you're looking forward to?
Yeah, Bloodborne, which
That looks
got
cool.
delayed to March or April, something like that.
Is that the one that's like sort of futuristic Victorian?
Yeah,
thing?
it's like
Oh,
Dark Souls
yeah.
3.
Dark Souls
only-
with a shotgun.
I was thinking of the
Yeah.
Order, but yeah, Dark Souls.
Well, the
makers.
Order's around the same time. The Order's a few weeks earlier.
Mhm.
Well, I think that's why they pushed it back.
Yeah, probably to kind of split their exclusives out a little
Mhm.
bit.
But there was another game that came out that was like Dark Souls. I guess wasn't very good.
What was it?
Fire,
Okay.
something of the fire.
The Viking something, right? Like the Lost
I don't know.
something.
Lost.
I don't know. What do we do? This
Lost
is a very
Souls.
informative podcast.
Yes.
There's a
Dark-
game that's called something that we don't know that's out that's kind of like another game.
Souls of Darkness. I don't
Shit,
know.
I'll open my Steam up.
So Steam sale coming up. Anything on your list?
Oh man.
I spend so much money on Steam sales, so I like to skip them. So like I'll spend $120 in one sale, skip a sale, and then load up on the next sale.
There's
So
one thing
I'm-
that I'm kind of want, and that's
I'm due to
the-
skip it this sale, basically.
hmm
and I don't remember what it's called. It's the turn-based game that's like the Fallout, spiritual Fallout game. What is that called?
Oh, Wasteland.
Wasteland 2.
I will pick up
Yes.
Wasteland if that goes on sale
That
for a
goes
good
on
price.
sale. Let's say, what is it now? $40?
Yeah, I think so.
I will buy that game for $20.
Yeah, 20, 25, I think it'll be okay. It's supposedly a really good game.
And maybe, and I doubt it will, Borderlands prequel under $25. I'd buy that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I won't get that.
I've never beat Borderlands or Borderlands 2. I play them for
Me
like a
either.
week. I'm like, man, this is such a great game. It's awesome. And then I just get distracted and I never go back.
Yeah, they're such good games too.
Mhm.
I wish, I don't know. Borderlands is an MMO. I don't know how it would work. I think we've kind of seen that MMO shooters don't really work.
Well, I don't know. I think MMOs as a genre is almost like kind of hit its peak. Like I'm not.
Passe.
Yeah, I don't think we're ever going to get like any. Well, I'm sure we will, but
Lords of the Fallen
Lords of the Fallen. That's it.
found it.
I don't know. I just don't. I think that the MMO's time is going to pass for a while. We'll see smaller games, I think, but
But you know what? There's nothing wrong with that, and I'll
yeah,
tell you why.
no.
This is, and I think we've already mentioned this, because there's still a lot of good MMOs worth playing that we've kind of stopped playing because we were flooded with other MMOs.
Yeah.
Like I said, I want to go back to Darkfall someday. I want to go back to Fallen Earth. Age of Conan might be getting a little bit long in the tooth, but definitely Elder Scrolls sometime.
Yep.
Hell, I might even go back to, like Wilds. No, let's not get carried away.
The Secret World for me.
Secret
I'd like to
World.
get
I would
there.
love to
Secret
go
World,
back to
yeah.
Secret World. Yeah.
Yeah.
That
You're right, there's a
game
bunch
would
of
be
games
great
that
on the
can-
console.
Hmm.
This year was kind of a huge bust for new games. They all really weren't that great or underperformed. Didn't
Yeah.
have it all at launch.
Well, but the other thing is, you look at Arcade. I mean, it's even though we kind of didn't like it or we got in and it just wasn't holding us. It has an audience. Those servers are still time, right?
Yeah. So if you want to talk about that briefly,
Sure.
they are constantly in the news for cheaters, hackers,
I know.
exploits. I think at this point, 100% of the game has an exploit or a
Really?
hack to it.
What's going on? What's the major things? Because I have seen some of the headlines, although just because I haven't been into the game, I don't click them.
Well, I mean, I don't know if you really need to go through all of them. Basically, if you can think of something in the game, someone has an exploit to get whatever they want out of it.
It's just like are people duping and
Yeah, but
gold
people
hacks
can hack into your locked chest on your deed now on your land.
oh man.
For a while there, they could trade you something, spoof the server that they had the item in the trade window. You'd give them all the money, and then it would cancel the trade.
This is old school Ultima Online. This is everything that was going on in Ultima.
So I wonder though if the Korean version of this game has these issues as well, or if this had to do with the port.
I think we mentioned it before, and why this doesn't happen in Korea is because Koreans sign up for an account in Korea on all their games with an ID, a state ID, and it's linked to a number. So if they hack and get banned, they can't ever play it again on any other account. Because they have to give them this
That's
ID.
kind of like how we were.
So if we signed up with our social security number,
it would be us giving them a social security number to
oh my
try.
god,
So
from everything.
We have the Freedom of Whatever Privacy Act preventing that from happening here. But that's when
Most
they
of these
tried to
hacks
do the
have
real
been,
ID thing, and everyone was up in arms
freaked
about
out,
it.
yeah.
when Blizzard did that, yeah, that was bad.
I think most of the problems have stemmed from them using the Unreal Engine, which is a first-person shooter, single-player type of engine based on the MMO. But the recent hack was ridiculous. So they put a brand new item on the cash shop that basically did all these cool things that people wanted. So they're buying them like crazy to get those Thunderstruck trees. And what they would do is they would fill up their whole inventory, put the chest pack in there, put the one item they want, okay, and the slots. There's no free spaces left. They would open the pack. If it had the item they want, it would go from like 1 to 2 items. If it didn't, it would fail. And they would it would come back in the mail, and they would start over until they got the item they wanted.
This
Yeah.
makes sense to me, but-
Your whole inventory is full,
Mhm.
and you have a pair of pants you want from the chest. You open the chest. If you get another pair of pants, it stacks on top of the pants. If you open the chest and it's not pants, your inventory is full. It gets sent back to your mail to open the chest again.
Oh, okay. So they open it over and over and over and over.
Then it's open just over and over and over and over again to get the high end item out of these chests. And so they pull down all the marketplace and all their servers and put in the fix. So that's not even a hacking issue.
an
That's more
exploit.
it's an exploit, but it's a dumb one. Yeah, just so I don't know. When I play the game, I don't run into hackers. I don't get killed by people that are exploiting. I haven't gotten cheated yet. I've sold all my land to people with I put up one appraisal cert, and then we do their other trade without being protected. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
One of the
I mean,
problems-
they
I
give me
sold
1,000
mine.
gold afterwards.
One of the problems though is even if you're not seeing the hacks, it's still screwing up the market.
Well, maybe, but okay, that's probably
How is
true,
it
but,
not? I mean, if there's a high price items that are getting flooded into the market, that the value of those items are going to go down. Maybe it's not enough to really bother your gameplay, which is, but
yeah, I don't know. I mean, none of us hack or exploit. I mean, does the average gamer hack or exploit, or do they just come home at night, turn on their computer, and go play the game?
that's not my point though.
Yeah.
My
Okay, I
point
know
is,
what your
is
point
that
is.
it's one market, right? The hackers are in the same market as you're in. right?
Okay.
So if there's a thunderstruck tree, whatever, I know that those are rare. And let's say that for some reason that was an item that you could get by hacking, and then now instead of having 10 on the market, there's 100 of them on the market. The value that's going to go down. So the person who actually legitimately got that is fucked. But I mean, I don't know how much it affects. I don't know how much the market played into the gameplay. I don't know.
So
In Mortal, it would be horrible. It would ruin the game. In Eve, it would ruin the game.
what I'm taking away from this is that you can buy an item that gives you a resource that's really rare in the game that you could just pay for. Like,
No.
is that
Well, so the
like
the
all the
thunderstruck
hacks
trees
aside,
were really rare.
right? But you
Thunderstruck
can
trees were really rare. Now you can buy a chest that gives you seeds that plants to get trees.
Oh, okay.
The trees were one tree was like 1,200 gold.
Mhm.
These chest packs came out. The tree without the exploit became 300 gold.
See, but-
So you're talking about a different issue, Quinn, but yes,
Yeah.
an equally horrible issue.
And to
with
me,
the
that's
game.
totally fine because the Thunderstruck tree system is awful to begin with. Now, putting in a cash up item to fix it is another thing, but
yeah, that's not a fix. That's like capitalizing on people's. They created a need and then said, okay, now we're going to supply this need for cash. And oh man, I hate pay to win.
Yeah, here's a little bit of white powder for free this time. Can't
Now,
buy
what's-
this. You can't
what's
buy
nice for
this
me
with
though
money.
is I could just go buy on the. Now I can go buy the same thing in the auction house for cheap. I don't give anyone cash, although
Right, so
someone did.
completely, just like the whole thing that they changed in that game was they made everything worthless. They made owning land worthless. They made it all worthless, in my opinion. I mean, not worthless to the point where, I mean, everyone got it day one. So if you didn't get it day one, it's not worthless to you. Now they're charging a lot for it.
Mhm.
But it's just, it didn't have the work versus reward thing. That game is just, it's fucked.
Yeah, I think I'm just done with free to play. Until
I have to agree with you on that. Because they have to make their money. Although Tera is free to play,
yeah.
but there is nothing in that game. Well,
But there's good ways to do it and bad. When I was playing with you, I really didn't feel that pay gate. I didn't feel the thing where I was like, I got to go buy something in the shop. When I play Guild Wars, I constantly am like, oh, I could do this, or I could just go buy it in the shop. I'll just buy it in the shop, save me some time. Click,
yeah,
that just drives me crazy.
people just get so up in arms. What they're going to charge? I got to buy the box and I got to pay $15, and it's like, okay, well, I'm okay with that because, well, first of all, some people are in different financial brackets, whatever. But for me, if I could, in Mortal Online, you don't have to buy the box anymore. You pay $15.
Mm-hmm.
Play the
now,
game.
now the box fees wrapped up in character slots.
Right. You get one character slot. You buy another character slot for $10, and you have up to 4 per account. But that's fine with me. Eve, same thing, right? There's no, you could buy Plex, but I have no issue with that.
Mm-hmm.
But other games where, I guess arcades, I think people are wrong about the free to play. I think it's good to have a free to play element of the game. Like, well, you can play a little bit of the game.
That's the worm and mortal system.
Right.
Yeah.
Just so that you can get in the game, because I like that. Because sometimes I'll be like, man, I haven't played Fallen Earth in a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to jump in there. Sometimes I'll jump in there and play it for a month. Sometimes I'll jump in there and go like, I'm not ready to play that again.
Yeah.
But I didn't spend $15 to do that. Now, anytime I'm going to play a game and say, I'm going to play this for a month, I can't wait to give them my money. And sometimes I don't even need to. Like Tera, I don't need to give them my money because I've been playing it long enough that I have enough stuff. But if you give Tera your money, you level a little bit faster and you get this book that allows you to teleport to the different zones.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that's not pay to win. It's hell convenient, super convenient, right? Otherwise you have to go to a Pegasus station, or, just like World of Warcraft, a Griffin station,
Mm-hmm.
and you have to fly maybe to a hub and then out to that location, as opposed to anywhere in the game, just be able to teleport there.
Yeah.
Which, people could say that's a little bit, but it's not. Trust me. If you play the game, it's convenient. But every time you sub for a month, you get that book for a month, and then you get one in your inventory. So I've subbed for that game enough times that I still have a few extra books in my inventory. I don't know. I'm with you though. The free to play is flawed in most games.
Yeah,
It is, but it just doesn't bother me as long as around $15 a month, I can be either competitive in PvP or have if it's a PvE game, I can have an enjoyable PvE experience.
See, you're missing the point. Though.
yeah. I don't want to look at all that. You know, it's like I don't want to have to think about because I get out. I like to play games just to kind of escape the world and just kind of like have fun. You know, just get in, have fun, not have to worry about like, oh, do I need to do this? Do I need to do that? Like mental chores. And I feel like if I constantly am having to look like, oh, got to go buy my seeds on the thing today, you know, and even if you're paying a monthly fee, like Star Wars: The Old Republic, you can pay a sub to that game. You get everything, but then you also get a stipend of Star Wars points, cartel points, right? And so you get all these lock boxes, right? And I want to open this lock box, better get a key. I don't even know if this is in Star Wars. I know it's in Star Trek, but you got to go buy keys, buy my keys and unlock. Yeah. And so that kind of shit just drives me crazy, man. I'd rather it not be there. Like I just want to pay my $15 a month, which is 50 cents a day for, what's 1 hour of entertainment worth to you? 2 hours. You go to the movies, it's $20. You got
if I go to a bar after work, I'm going to drop $50, no problem.
Yeah. I'm Elder Scrolls Online, I love that it's a sub. You just go in there, you can play, do whatever you want. And if they have an extra cash shop, I don't want anything but like mounts and fluffy pets being in there. I don't want stuff that integrates into the game as far as functionality that I have to do. Got to go check the shop, get this so I can unlock that, or unlock my daily dungeon. It's like, man, that drives me crazy.
You know what is on that same lines with me, and one of the reasons why I stopped playing World of Warcraft and don't like it is those fucking UI mods. I don't like them. I don't like that.
Yeah.
That people, like you guys were talking about, easy to play.
Mm-hmm.
Play your game how you want. I didn't like. One of the things I didn't like about Elder Scrolls Online was that damn curse client. I mean, it's like, well, half this stuff should be in the. What's in the game should be equal playing fields what everyone else plays.
Yeah.
I don't want to go out and look for mods. I don't want to, say, okay, well, there's 18 different mods that do all this different stuff. It's a multiplayer game. There should be freaking Punk Buster on there that doesn't allow you to add anything to the game.
So in WoW, I'm thinking there's no way some random coder on the internet has a better UI than Blizzard devs that've been working on the game for 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
But they do.
So I trucked along with the UI, and then before I went to bed one night, I put in that Elf UI.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
It is amazing.
It's so much better than the default UI.
Yeah.
And it's annoying. Like, why don't they just make the other UI better?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Modern.
And lock it down. Because this, especially like in a PvP situation, it's like, well, I don't only have to get good at PvPing, I also have to research every day to make sure I have the best mod to help cheat. You know what I mean? And that's the way I look at it.
Cheating. Maybe it's.
Well, why isn't it cheating? If one person has it and one person doesn't, the competition is not level, right?
It depends.
Wait. If we're having a 5-on-5,
yeah,
battle,
go watch some streams, dude. Like arena streams. A lot of those guys play stock UI, and a lot of them are very good.
Right, but if Nate had his healing thing,
mm-hmm.
he's going to heal a lot better than if Nate didn't have his healing thing.
Yes.
Definitely. Yeah, the heal bot is one thing, and that is one of the very controversial mods.
Okay. Mm-hmm. I mean, that being said, I don't think World of Warcraft is the type of game where it would be a big deal in Darkfall Eve or Mortal.
Oh yeah.
It would be a big deal in Counter-Strike.
Where there's actually
shit
at
a lot
stake.
Of games do they let you add on, but they make sure they're only UI tweaks,
mm-hmm.
the way the UI looks.
Yeah, even Elder Scrolls Online, they changed like a month into their game release. They changed their modding policy so that they blocked a lot of shit because there was a mod called the Tamriel Foundry. I think guys made. I don't remember what it was called, but it was something from Tamriel Foundry, and it was like the PvP. You had to have this because you could see, like, if you moused over someone, you could see what spec they were, what gear they were wearing, like all this crazy shit. And it was like people were like, "Dude, this is too much," and so they like took all that out. I don't. For me in Warcraft, I don't use mods that do anything like that. I use mods that make my UI look a little cleaner, like a little more streamlined.
resizing hot bars.
Yeah,
and
that's
you
all
know,
I do.
That's fine, you know. But I remember there's like, I mean, I remember when World of Warcraft first came out,
Mhm.
and they first came out with the thing where it was connected to like all this gear in the game. I forget what it was called. Armory, right?
Uh huh.
I mean, some of that stuff was like, wow, you know, I mean, you know, it's like this definitely changes the ease of choosing gear,
Yeah.
you know, and I don't know,
Mhm.
one mod that really was great was what made the quest
Quest
go
helper.
fast. I don't know. I think
Oh.
that World of Warcraft eventually installed that, you know, made that.
Well,
a
yeah,
stock
that's what
thing.
they do. They they kind of let the community try and develop, figure out what mods are cool and what, they look at, oh, like 75% of our population is using Quest Helper. We might as well just create that in our game and make it better, and then they'll do that.
Right. But
So-
I mean, some of that though, to me, and I'm probably in the minority, so it wasn't to me, it kills so much immersion in the game. Like
Oh yeah.
the little thing that put all the nodes on your mini map.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean,
Yeah.
that so I mean, you're running around, oh look, there's some copper.
Yeah.
Now I know where all the copper is. Now if I want copper, I have to go out and go just chase those down over and over. And
Right.
it makes it less like, oh cool, there's some copper, to, oh fuck, I gotta go look for copper. You know what I mean? I don't
Yeah.
know.
Well, it's sometimes you can't go back in games. Like
Mhm.
Lord of the Rings Online, when it launched, had no quest helper. No, the quest didn't show you where to go.
Right.
They didn't like put circles and arrows and stuff over things. You had to
Yep.
go to a guide, read about it, or read the quest and figure out where to go, or hell, even go into the lore and solve something.
Mm-hmm.
But now you could just, it's like almost any MMO now. They have a circle around stuff. They highlight things.
Yeah,
They have arrows
WoW was the
places.
same way, man. You go to the crossroads and you pick up like 15 quests, and you have to like read through each one and say, oh, okay,
Right.
off to the northwest, so many paces, there's a pack of gazelle or whatever, the zebra. Go get me 20 zebra horns. You gotta go find them, and you could completely run past them and end up in the next zone and be like, where the hell did they go? Oh, well, you didn't realize that the warrior that was sitting that you ran by had killed them all and was waiting for them to respawn.
Yeah, I liked World of Warcraft when it first came. I wonder why they never ever, came out with a classic vanilla server.
I don't know.
That's probably not as good as you.
I wouldn't play it. I remember I was a warrior, dude, and I played the warrior day one in that game, and I made it as far as the Barrens crossroads on my first playthrough. I think I got to like level 14.
Oh, you were a horde?
Horde warrior, yeah. And it was like so brutal. You would go as a warrior, you couldn't heal yourself. You could eat food and bandage, but it was basically you kill one mob, sit down, eat, heal up, kill one mob, sit down. If you pulled two mobs,
That's
you were
why
dead.
A warrior's supposed to have a healer with them.
Yeah.
That's why it's a MMO. It's a group game.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not knocking. And remember like those. I remember when I was a kid, our MMOs, we used to have to walk to the dungeon.
Yep. I do like that though. I that is one thing that I do like is actually going to the dungeon.
46.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's like, okay, well, I guess it's because of how old this game is, but it's not an adventure anymore. It's a game. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I like the days when they were do you remember going from Freeport to Kinos and crossing those mountains and having to hug the zone and then getting killed and you're like screwed?
Yeah, or if you
Having
died
to
out
do
in
a corpse run.
yeah,
It's like those
ocean
were,
of tears, fall off a boat.
and then you would try to, okay, well, I got to find a guy who's going to cast, give me a spirit of the wolf. And then, oh, I lost my thing. Hopefully I can get someone to corpse drag me, or I'm going to go to the teleport shrines and try to get another random guy, or, I'm going to go get someone to cast clarity on me. It's like, that was fun. That was like this adventure. That world was like this mysterious. Some areas of EverQuest were mysterious. They were like, you don't go down there, don't go down there, man. You're going to lose your shit, And then when you do go down there, eventually when you build up, it's like, wow, man, we're here.
Yeah, there was that. What was that dungeon in Lava Storm? There was a. Holy crap! I don't remember what it was called. Like Dragon. I don't remember. It was a cave inside Lava Storm, and there was like gnolls in there. It was like I don't know. It was. I think
Black Burrow?
No. It was in
that
the.
was the,
It was off of. It was in the lava area, and you had to go there to get to. I think Nagafan or whoever that red dragon was. You had to go through this dungeon to get to him. I think. But
now imagine if you just
Yeah.
queued up for that. Totally different experience.
oh yeah, because you you
definitely.
like adventure out. You leave Nariak, right? And then you're running through the Nectulus Forest. You get into Lava Storm, and it's like you made it that far because that was before there was even maps or compasses in that game. And you had to. There was a button that you could push for sense heading. Like you had to spam this
yeah.
button because it was a skill.
I remember that.
And so you'd have to sit there and be like, "Oh, you're heading southwest."
I had a little thing. It said LOC on it, and I used to have to tap that.
Yep, lock.
Be like, oh wait, how do I get turned around?
Yeah, and so if you even could make it there, like if you didn't know, I got lost in Nectulus Forest so many times 'cause it was dark, you know. But then you get to the lava storm, you're like, holy crap, there's fire everywhere, the mountains, like drakes floating around, you know. And then you get to the dungeon, and if you went down inside that dungeon and you fell in the lava and died, fuck, if you were able to get your body back, man, that thing
You'd
was
have
gone.
to get, what was it, like a druid? Or,
No, you get a necromancer or a really
corpse
high level
rat.
shadow knight, and they could summon it to the front.
See, that's a game, my brothers.
But if you
know what
didn't get
game
your
is
corpse
kinda
back
like that
in like
now?
5 hours, it was gone.
Yeah, you know what game's kind of like that now?
Mortal.
But it's
Yeah.
not though, because the only difference between that and is that gear was so much more valuable than the gear in Mortal. Like,
Oh yeah.
because it wasn't like you're not supposed to lose your gear in
No,
EverQuest.
and that was
And when you
stress,
did, you
man.
were effed. You were fucked.
Yeah,
man.
that is I think EverQuest invented the rage quit because
Did you ever
Go
have a
ahead.
situation where you needed to be someplace or you needed to go to bed, but you got killed and you had to go get your corpse?
Yes.
Oh
and
yeah.
you had to stay online for an extra like 3 hours to make. Well, I guess it wasn't 3 hours, but
Yeah.
you know.
Corpse run done.
Well, see,
Uh-huh.
sometimes you'd go get your corpse and then you die again
Yeah.
coming out.
There was
All
a
right, so
dungeon.
you guys think that was all fun?
Mhm.
You'd like it again? So we should play Project 1999 and see if it really is still fun.
It's not.
No. Tastes
No,
have
no.
changed, man. Times have changed.
But see, I would play the EverQuest now, but they got rid of the corpse run. Like
Yeah.
the official, because the clients.
Well, even 99, they still have it there.
They still have
right?
it there, but
Yeah.
you're still staring at your freaking med book, right?
Yeah. Do you remember that dungeon? There was a freaking dungeon that was, I think it was in East Common Lands, like a little ways off from the tunnel, and you go, it's like this cave in the rocks. You go in there, and there was a fucking well at the end of the cave. And if you jumped in that well, you fell all the way to the fucking bottom floor of the dungeon and died.
No.
Bad
I
times,
remember
man.
when Planes of Power, was that the expansion?
Yeah.
Was that like the one after Canark?
Yeah, no, it was
That's the,
Kunark, then Velius.
Expansion I came back to.
Yeah, Kunark, Velius. What was the next?
But the
next
one where
was
you
something
ended
with
up
Planes
going
Power.
to like another planet, right? That one?
Yeah, I like the
Luckland,
one
yeah.
that added teleportation across the whole map.
Yeah.
Holy crap, I got lost. I got so lost in all those teleport things.
Uh huh.
I think my character's still there. I think I
Nice.
re-rolled.
Yeah. I
but
didn't.
see-
I didn't like Planes of Power, man. I felt like that kind of killed the game for me.
Yeah, I did too.
But
I had this binder that had printed out like every zone
uh huh.
map that I'd have to like flip through, you know. Oh, here's Blackborough. I used to love Black. I don't know why those Knolls.
Uh huh.
You know, I mean that's like a lower level thing. The first character I had was a ranger, and I must have played that for a month and made it to like level 12.
Yeah.
I didn't know
Yeah.
what the hell I was doing.
Mm-hmm.
You
No,
know,
I think I played mine for a month and it was like level 7.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it was I don't know, maybe it's just that, you know, it was just an adventure, man.
Yeah.
And you know what games since I felt that Mortal kind of is that way, but what other games do you think are that have that adventure? Like, do we have to go to like single player games to get that sort of immersion
man.
anymore?
It is.
Yeah.
You know, you
It's
get.
not in our MMO anymore, no.
Mm-mm.
You know why it is? Why it is because of money. Because people who are buying the games, you know, you can't have someone quit right away.
Mhm.
People need to casually play the game.
Yeah, well, you
And-
look at it. I mean, the times have changed, and they changed for a reason. I mean, that progression happened because it was pop. It's like
Because they could loop more people
Yeah.
into paying for the game.
it's
It's not just us people who wanted that, immersion. Now this, okay, well, if it was just the people that played EverQuest playing MMOs right now, there would be no AAA MMOs
Yeah.
because they wouldn't have enough money to make them.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, we kind of thought they would take their genre to a creating alternate worlds better and more accurately.
Yeah.
And instead, they've gone to a system that is how many people can we have in our game running through content treadmills, not
Yeah.
creating an alternate place for them to like hang out and adventure in.
But
And
people do
artificial
it.
time sinks,
Yeah. But
and-
if they make it fun enough, if it's fun.
And the first games in our genre did the alternate world better than the newer games that come out 14 years later. It's
So the
crazy.
first 3 games, in my opinion, all did it really well, which were Ultima, EverQuest, and Asheron's Call.
Ooh.
Maybe a little bit of Anarchy, and that finally got running well.
The problem with Anarchy is they already started. They did the
Instance dungeons.
what do you want to call it? They create. So
They randomized the map.
right, and
Yeah.
they all they were just like a different 8 rooms, and
It was crazy boring.
they didn't have
That
enough
was kind of the
open
start of
world
the Instance
stuff.
dungeon, really, too, wasn't it?
But no, I'll tell you, Dark Age of Camelot was a pretty damn good game when it came
Yeah.
out.
Still hard to go back to. Can't go back to it, man.
You know what though, man? How come that? Yeah, I don't know. That game there was what 9 classes per realm, and there were similar characters in each realm, but completely different
Yeah.
skill.
Yeah.
That
They
was
went crazy.
Like I played Midgard, no Hibernia. I played Hibernia, and I played a completely different set of characters and knew than someone who played Midgard, right? And that was kind of crazy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Each world was a completely different game. It was they made 3 different games and then put them together and like, okay, now you can fight each other.
Laggy ass.
Yeah.
Although
Yeah,
I
Playing on
remember-
dial-up and shit at
Wish
America
I had
Online.
played that game. I stared at that box in college over and over and over again. Broke his shit. Never able to buy it.
I remember me and this dude. We were. I was a bard. I forget what he was. And we like played and we had leveled up to like a semi decent level, and we went. So there was between the realms there was also paths. There was the main
Yeah.
area where you fought over the keep or whatever, but there was also you could go out a gate, and so we would sneak out this gate. First time we ever snuck out that gate, he set one foot out there and was one shot, or I was, or something. And then we like rezzed or whatever, and then we ended up like spending like 3 hours playing cat and mouse with this ranger someplace. And it was probably the most fun I've ever up till that point, because what game like EverQuest I never PvP'd.
Yeah.
Up until that point there really wasn't like this like third person game, 3D game with PvP. And that must have hooked me on video games, on MMOs the rest of my life. But it was a snowy area, and we were running. There was a few mobs, and we just kept dying. But we eventually killed a couple people, and that was just like because we were sneaking out and kind of coming back, playing cat and mouse, and that was fun. Anyway,
So why can't you go back? It's still running. How come you can't go back and play it?
I don't know, man.
well, for me, that itch is better scratched in Mortal.
Okay. Yeah, well, that's true.
And as far as like when I play Tera, it's just a guilty pleasure. It's just fun combat, and it looks nice. That was you didn't play 2 MMOs back then. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You were like, you hunkered down when Dark Age of Camelot came out. I knew I was going to play that for at least a year when it came out. So as soon as it came out, I absorbed and read everything and learned every single thing I could about the game. You know what I mean? Because it wasn't like, well, I'll give it a try. Oh, yeah, well, that was kind of fun. Because even some of these games that we dismiss right away, if we get in there, we might find a gem. But we're just kind of like, we're just lightly strolling through the game for a minute. You know?
There's too much distraction.
That's why when we talk about, hey, not having any MMOs for a while might be a good thing, maybe we'll stop dividing our population. Maybe people will go back to other games, and those people will take that money and make these games better. You know, who knows?
Maybe I can go back, play Dark Age of Camelot.
Well, see, that's kind of got me curious about his new project.
Yeah, I hope that's good, man. I'm sure it'll be awesome.
I think it'll be good. I think it'll be a little bit different. Like you said, MMOs are kind of maybe on the. I think it's not going to be quite as much of an MMO,
Mm-hmm.
but be an MMO.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like take like a game like Rust or Life is Feudal, and put something like that on a perpetual, on a persistent server, and keep character progression,
Yep.
but have it smaller, and you might have something there.
Yeah, we don't need another Warcraft. I mean, we got Warcraft. We don't need we don't need another Mortal. We got Mortal. Just make something unique and fun that's interesting and
this game
is
definitely
enjoyable.
unique.
Yeah,
Or it's at least an interesting concept of how it's put together. It's like part of the Dark Age of Camelot Elder Scrolls Online PvP,
Mm-hmm.
separate from the strict MMO experience, which could make it better if they just focus on making that experience fun and enjoyable.
So I haven't talked about that game much lately, but what was it? What is it called again?
Camelot Unchained.
Camelot
Mm-hmm.
Unchained. So, what I remember gathering from that game is it's going to focus on crafting and PvP, right? That's what they
Yeah, I
said.
think
Right.
so.
Yes.
So not a lot of PvE, crafting and PvP,
Mm-hmm.
which sounds pretty cool.
Yeah. Sure. Sounds great.
But
And
the-
also some of the stuff about like taking over parts of the map, and then that opens up like dungeons and I don't know.
we'll see
Yeah,
if it ever comes out.
I don't know.
Well, they just released screenshots from their last alpha test, and they look okay. Definitely looks very indie.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't look like a AAA MMO. Looks, which I mean, what can you say? It made like what, $3 million in Kickstarter. It's not exactly $500 million.
Yeah.
You know,
it's no Star
You know what
Citizen.
launches on Steam tomorrow?
What
Shroud of the Avatar.
already?
yeah.
Early access tomorrow on Steam.
I wonder how much it'll be on Steam.
Do you
I
have
did
it?
Not, I did not kickstart it.
I did.
I did.
Yeah, I'm
But-
interested to play it, but I wonder. Does that mean
Is
we're
it
never
is it under NDA? Was that last
What-
alpha
are they-
test under NDA?
I think they all have been, right?
I don't think so.
Maybe.
I
Uh,
don't know.
What Steam early access game ever comes out though? Like,
Yeah.
ever gonna play an actual finished version of?
Well, I kind of got disenchanted with the game a little bit when I started hearing about people buying plots of land for hundreds of dollars.
Yep.
It's like, if that's not pay to win, I don't know what is.
Yeah. I don't know, man. Like I said, I'm
Well,
I'm done with
it's
that
not
whole
really
thing
Oh, it's like
for a while, anyways.
hybrid thing.
The other
But-
thing that's weird is you will never have to PvP if you don't want to. And it's like, well, economy doesn't work that way.
Well, you don't even have to
because-
play online if you don't want to. There's a full
Yeah,
offline
fuck
mode.
that game. You know,
Yeah,
because
it's not MMO. It's
No.
it's a single player game with MMO like things in there. So
because you can never have.
that may not be bad, man. If we can all play in there together, have fun, do a little PvP, it may give us exactly what we want out of a game. Not everything has to be an MMO for us to have fun in it.
Well, yeah, you're right, but the problem is that I'm all about resource gathering and crafting and stuff like that, right? So that being said, you're going to have people who who have no threat of PvP who are going to do that day and night, and they're going to have better stuff than the people who want to PvP. You know,
Yep.
Yeah.
because there's no risk. You know, that's why I don't like games that have, you know, like Darkfall. At least there's new safe zones which kind of suck balls, but at least they had shitty shitty mining within the safe zones, right? It is
For
now
a while
trust me.
there, they moved they moved some stuff out. I think at first you could kind of get by with just hanging out in there.
Yeah, but now you can't get any good mats there, and you know at least that's better because you know you can't in a game. Well,
We got a couple games coming out that are going to target us. Black Desert, Albion Online, Pathfinder Online, all those games. I think are going to have
Pantheon.
Pantheon. Nah, I don't know about that.
Oh.
Pathfinder
Oh.
looks kind of cool. Pathfinder, just looking at it, kind of reminds me of Dark Age of Camelot a little bit. The way they're running around with their capes and their hoods on and stuff. That
Oh yeah.
when I
yeah.
see it, I was like, oh man, that totally looks like my old ranger. You know, running around I had a green cloak with a hood, and that's all I always wore it all around. Yeah.
I think it's gonna be interesting because it appeals to a crowd that doesn't really like PvP.
Yeah.
They come from the RPG pen and paper, but they're developing a full loot sandbox,
Mm-hmm.
and those two crowds are going to meet. I
doesn't-
wonder how violent that will be.
Doesn't the pen and paper people, don't they have PvP though?
I mean,
And
just
when they
read
die,
stories
it's
and run through it and
permadeath,
fight
right?
monsters.
I don't know.
Yeah, but it's permadeath in those games, right?
If the GM says you're dead, you're dead. Your character's
You got to
done.
like tear up that piece of paper that you wrote your character's name on or something.
Yep, Viking burial.
Anyway,
I don't know. I think I'm done.
full of more question than answers today on the Sandbox. But hey, we've had a good chat.
Yeah.
So tell me about Shards Online, Nate.
It's successful on Kickstarter, so you don't have to give them any more money if you don't want to.
Oh,
I think
did they?
They asked for what, 320 grand last time,
Uh-huh.
and got 50.
Yeah.
So it failed, and this time they asked for 50, and they're at 60 something right now.
That's cool.
So this Kickstarter was just to get them to alpha. They want a playable alpha, and this Kickstarter is funds to do that with.
So once
So-
there's a playable alpha, are we going to see Kickstarter 3.0 from Shards?
Probably.
Well, evidently they already had someone willing to back them, so the 50K is being backed with another 50K, and whoever their backer was wanted to see a successful Kickstarter. So my guess would be we could have more Kickstarters like the repopulation, or
So they got 100K. I don't think that most iPhone apps are made for 100K.
no. I mean, this is former devs from Ultima Online, although devs that were like later in its lifespan.
I don't know.
Game does look cool. It's kind of got that almost like a Neverwinter Online, where you can get in there and code and change the game up and create your own scenarios, your own worlds. And this game has
You do.
that.
I don't do that.
yeah.
I don't do that.
I won't do that either. Obviously, there's one kind of player who will.
You know who will do that? Winning will do that.
Winning.
Okay.
He'll do
Megalito.
it well.
Megalito will do
Megalito.
something that's just off the wall, and you're like, what the hell's happening here?
Yeah, which is cool because then we can get in there and play those worlds that those guys get in there and jack with.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. No, I'll play it for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It succeeded, so it's still running through the end of the month.
Nice. All right. Well, that about wraps it up, I think.
I think we should wrap this show.
Everyone has anything else to mention?
Nope.
Nate, you have any appearances coming up?
Yeah, I've been on Mr. Pod twice.
We call that podcast Mr. Nate now.
Mr.
Well,
Nate.
he was trying to get me on for another show Friday or Saturday. I told him, no, you can't have me back on. That puts me on your show more than your
Yeah.
co-host.
You know what's funny though is it's Mr. MR Pod, Megalito and Ryan.
Is that what it's supposed to be?
Yeah, I think so, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah.
Oh.
So you could replace. Yeah, I mean, we are both Ryan. You could replace me.
Nate's real name is Ryan, so
Oh, there you go. That works.
I like how every time that anyway, Mr. Pod's show is, you guys check it out. It's on our MMO Spack Talk splash page, whatever.
Yeah, they're recording much more regularly now, so give them a listen.
Cool.
Or more
And,
regular than we are.
But it's supposed to be our friend Ryan and Megalito, but Ryan has only been on like 2 of the casts. So every time it's like, oh, Ryan can't be here. Anyway,
They got an
Ryan?
interview with Repopulation.
yeah, if
month
Ryan's listening to this podcast, you need to be on your own show, dude. Also, Backdoor Lounge Saturday, first Saturday of December. Be there. It's a lot easier than calling him.
Yeah.
Anyway, so
All right, let's wrap
That's
this.
all I got.
Let's wrap this bitch up. So, all right, Nate, take us out, dude.
Oh, I'm taking us out. Okay.
You take us out.
You can reach us on Twitter at Sandbox Podcasts, at Nate Ryle, at Sandbox Quint. We're also, our website is www.sandboxpodcast.com. or on Twitch, twitch.tv/Sandbox.
Podcast.
Cool.
All right.
See you next time, guys.
That's a show.
Peace.
Recording stop.